All right, welcome back to Calc 2. We are continuing looking at arc lengths. So this was next problem. We had to figure out, check this, I'm sorry. We wanted to get 1/3 x square root of x. So 1/3 x root x, there we go. Minus x to the 1/2, the square root of x rather, on 0 and 1. We had to figure out that arc length. So since we're going to take a derivative, what I'm going to do is go ahead and translate this to calculus and say f of x equals 1/3 x to the 3/2 minus x to the 1/2. All right, now go ahead and take our derivative. So f prime of x, and we end up with 1/3 times 3/2 x to the 1/2 minus 1/2 x to the negative 1/2. There's some stuff that cancels, and we end up with 1/2 x to the 1/2 minus 1/2 x to the negative 1/2. And since we're about to do a bunch of algebra, I'll go ahead and say this is what's going to happen, because eventually we're going to have to square this whole thing. So f prime of x squared. So that's going to be 1/2 square root of x minus 1/2 square roots of x, like that. And I'll go ahead and write this all out so we make sure that we're going to FOIL this out correctly. 1/2 root x, like so. Okay, so let's go ahead and FOIL this out. So we end up with a 1/4 square root of x times square root of x is just x. We end up with our cross terms, which is going to be, let's see, did I write that down right? Yes, I did. So half times half is going to be minus 1/4. The square root of x and 1/, square root of x are going to cancel. The other cross term is going to be minus 1/4. That's this guy and this guy. And now we're going to end up with a plus 1/4x as such. Now we're going to think about adding 1 to this thing. Okay, so just to clean this up a little bit, we have 1/4 x minus 1/2, or 2/4, we could say that, plus 1/4x. I'm going to go ahead and say plus 4/4. Okay, so that's going to be 1/4 x plus 2/4 plus 1/4x. And the thing I'm kind of hoping that you're going to see is, like, look at this thing. When I multiplied this, FOILed this thing out, we ended up with a 1/2 in the center here. Kind of hoping you're going to see a pattern with this, and this is going to be a 1/2 square roots of x plus 1/2 root x down on the bottom there squared. Again, we could check this by multiplying all of this out just to be sure. You probably want to do that, but eventually we're going to end up taking the square root of this. The square root and the square are going to cancel, and all we're going to be left with is the integral of 1/2 x to the 1/2 plus 1/2 x to the negative 1/2. We just have to integrate this now. And again, we're going to integrate it between, I think, 0 and 1. All right, so we end up with 1/2 x to the 3/2 times 2/3 there, plus 1/2 x to the positive 1/2 times 2/1. So some stuff cancels. We actually end up with 1/3 x to the 3/2. Okay, I think it's a plus there. Plus, those cancel, x to the 1/2. And we're going between 0 and 1. So that's a pretty nice integral to evaluate. So we have 1/3 times 1 plus 1 minus, both of those terms evaluated at 0 or 0. And we have 1/3 plus 1, and this is going to be equal to 4/3. And it's a nice, cute problem there. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful to you. And good luck with the test, everybody, and I will see you in the next video.